Hello everyone, welcome back to Motor Addicts one more time. The reason why this is a bit odd is because I've got no boys with me, it's just me. But this was going to be a nostalgic car because I had one of these that I sold to Owen, but I've not seen one in a lot of years. But the difference is this is running between 250 and 300 horsepower. It's an FDH, which is one of 200. We'll go through the story on that, but supposedly it's an absolute brute. So we've got to get into this. I'll tell you what, just have a look around because it is an iconic car. Right, so you join me and Tom. Sadly, as I said, there's no boys, so you're going to feel a bit uncomfortable because I'm talking to you. We've got your son being cameraman. Yep. So don't worry about it, we're fine. We'll just talk like we are mates. Now, I've not seen one of these for absolutely years. Tell us what makes this so special, because obviously it's the FDH and not the K series.
As the story goes, they made 200 of these to send to Japan to try the JDM market. When they turned up in Japan, something to do with emission laws had changed or something. Yeah, come back to the UK.
You said that they went from there to Malaysia.
I think so, or Indonesia or somewhere like that, and stored them for a couple of years, and then they come back to the UK.
And then they came back to the UK, and Rover gave them to basically companies to get rid of them.
Salesman cars and things like that, but they all come with the FDH plate.
So how many of these are left on the road now?
I haven't got a clue, mate. 20, 30.
That's one thing we're going to have a look at, is what the regs are of them, or how many is left. What is it, how many left.com or something?
Yeah.
Other than that, you've got to open up the bonnet and tell us a little bit about what's going on with that. So, what you will notice on this is there's a lot of stuff going on. So give us a bit of a rundown of what's been done to it, because obviously 250 to 300 horse, obviously it's not been on a dyno, has it?
Not yet, no,
but
it will be.
Built for that sort of horsepower.
It's only just been finished, yeah.
So what's actually been done to it?
It's got a built bottom end, I'm unsure. It was built a few years ago, I'm unsure of that. The top end, big valve, ported and polished head. It's got the M Sport intake, which again has been ported and port matched to the head.
Okay.
It's got a stage 1 Turbotechnics hybrid turbo. Built gearbox, torque and diff.
So it is going to be a weapon. I've not been in one. I think the fastest I've ever, or the biggest one I ever had was my one. So as you said, it's not been on a dyno.
No, we just finished running it in. It's fully running now. So.
And actually, you're putting it up for sale, aren't you?
It's going up for sale, yeah, in the next few weeks. I just want to get a few more things buttoned up on it.
Yeah, so
and
it's
then
like,
it's going up for sale.
It's 100%.
100%, yeah.
It used to be an old track car, didn't it?
Apparently so. So the story went. It was on a private plate for many years. It was just used as a track toy. If you like, the MOT history shows it's only done a few hundred miles every year for like 5 or 6 years. Yeah,
I must admit it's a cool bit of kit. And then I did notice, which was in here, which I've done a cutaway of it. There's an old tap, which is how we used to blow up our cars. If we're going to go nostalgic stroke bonkers, that's how we blew up cars when we were younger. Is turn the tap right up, hope for the best. But yeah, it never worked. Clutch. If the clutch was slipping, you knew you had to back it off a bit.
Yeah.
And then if you whack it up if you knock it back off a bit, then you're risking whether it's the turbo that was going to give up next.
Yeah.
But it's usually the clutch that gave way. Now, how do you map these? Because it must be a bit.
There is no way.
There's no way to map. So it's
got to go standalone if you want to get mapping in it. Yeah, whatever it is.
So whatever it is, parts-wise that you've put on it.
We've tried to make the best flow that we can to obviously try and up the power a bit more.
And is it a full exhaust system from
2.5 inch from the turbo, goes to 3 inch just at the flexi, and then all the way back? It's got a little box on the back.
Because I must admit, we went to meet somewhere earlier, and when we went to meet somewhere earlier, we had an XR2 behind me, and then this was behind that, and I could hear that in my diesel BMW while I was on full chat, which is ridiculously loud. But what's it like traction-wise? Is traction any good, or is
it's got a built gearbox? Yeah, built gearbox, torque and diff. Yeah, unless it's wet, it doesn't very rarely spin.
So it is actually going to be a bit of a monster. Because how much they weigh?
I haven't
1,100
got a clue. Yeah, 1,200, 1,300, something like that. Yeah.
But it's full interior. You're not taking anything out. Let's have a look inside because
as it come.
The other side that is in here, and this is Rover, they over engineer the dashboards and everything else. I think they've been done a bit too much. The reason why is they've also got a coin tray, which is sign written or written coins.
Yep.
So instead of like business cards or something like that, no, just put your change in it. Rubbish. That's where your VAT receipts.
And I still use it for that today.
Do you still use it for that
I do.
today? Oh, some of the cars used to have actual slots for coins.
For the coins, yeah.
But interior wise, it is bog standard, apart from a few
standard
speakers and stuff like that.
Yep. All in good condition though, it's lovely.
It is in really good condition.
Yeah.
The seats are really, really good.
For 30-year-old leather, they look pretty good.
Oh, it is. I must admit. So I will tell you the story now about the one that I had. I had a white one, which I then bought for, I think it was about 800 quid. I bought it back home, and as I got to where we normally actually film, it overheated. Normal. That was the old K-Series engine. And then I sold it to Owen for 900 quid. I don't know what he done with it after that, but that was a white one, Targa top as well. So that added it. It was a good looking car, and I've not seen one for absolute years. But the most iconic things about these cars are the back. So on the back, this is where, like, the fronts are pretty cool as they are, but the backs themselves, they actually had diffusers, where diffusers weren't a thing back then, really. And then the roll tip exhaust. That's
Standard.
absolutely epic.
Standard.
But so, as you said, the plans with the car now is just to button it up, move it on.
Yeah.
What are you looking at replacing it with?
A Nova, like I was saying.
A Vauxhall Nova. Oh, well, and we've been discussing what he should be putting in that, but we won't discuss too much about it.
To be confirmed.
To be confirmed. But no, I've got to say thank you very much for letting me at least witness one again, which I never thought I'd ever witness again. But yeah, I think the best thing to do is go out for a drive and actually show me how this 300 horsepower works.
Let's go.
Right, so now we're in 220 Coupe FDH, just reminding everyone of that. I've been told I have to test my butt dyno, because obviously we've been in some bonkers cars, so I've got to give a true inclusion of this, as they don't do it hasn't been on a rolling road yet, so it'll be well worth doing. But other than that, it drives alright, doesn't it? It's not bouncy, rocking.
No, it's Avo coilovers. No, gas coilovers all round.
Gas coilovers.
Yeah, polybushed everywhere. Obviously to do its track days.
Yeah. Oh, it does sound good though, doesn't it?
Awesome. When the turbo winds up, it sounds amazing.
I've not been in a turbo Rover for years. I think the last one was a ZT, which...
Yeah, that's what all the brakes come off on this.
Yeah, so the brakes off the ZT.
Yeah.
But the ZT, I must admit, it was like a rip-off S-Type Jag.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that massively enjoyable, to be fair. So have you played up against many cars with it? Or shopped a few?
We've had a BMW M140. He left to start with, but we closed him down, and the guy's head was falling off. Yeah, he couldn't understand it. Yeah, we raced a supercharged MX-5 the other day as well. That was a really good race. That was a really good race. Yeah.
That must be pushing what? Probably 220?
270.
Oh,
270, yeah, 270. It was a 1.8 and R16.
And this keeping...
It kept, literally, we were sat next to each other.
So yeah, 250, 300. That's
yeah,
probably...
But that was on wastegate though. I hadn't put the adjuster on it yet.
Ah, right, bloody hell.
Yeah, that was just on wastegate, like 8 PSI. Ooh. So we're running like 13, 14 at the minute, but it's hitting boost cut, so I need to change the way it's bleeding it out.
It's just cool to be in one. So comfortable as well, aren't they?
Yeah, it is surprisingly comfortable. We did a long journey and my daughter's, she's got a brand new Pulsar. Yeah. And that was horrible. And like, on the way here, me and my son were saying like my back ain't even hurting compared to her car.
Yeah, but as I was saying, like in the olden days, they made seats for actual comfort, didn't they? Not for necessity.
Yes.
But yeah, like Rover always over-engineered everything else. They made some great looking cars, but it doesn't feel like there's a flat spot. It's just smoothly going all the way through.
All the way, yeah. But I have to hold it back because of the boost cut.
Yeah.
So that isn't all it's got.
So how much are these worth then as an FDH then?
I'm going to put it up for £6 grand.
£6 grand.
See what happens. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a hard one to price unless
it is 100%.
Because it's not an immaculate example.
No.
If it was immaculate, you're probably talking 10 grand.
Probably, yeah.
But as a bit of fun and an old track car,
yeah,
I don't think you need that. It's more about the enjoyment. Jesus, too many slow cars on the road. That's picking up pace.
Racing that M140 off the clock.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
The drone on it is immense.
Yeah. It's only got a little tin can on the back of it. It's 2.5 inch from the turbo, and then it splits to 3 inch, and then it's got a little tiny tin can. These are notorious for being hard to get power out of, so it will be interesting to find out what it is running.
Fourth gear in loves, doesn't it?
Beautiful. It is relentless as well.
Fourth gear is like, it's pinnacle gear. There's no wheel spin at all.
No, the torsion diff helps it. In the wet though, it's a totally different story.
Yeah,
it's useless in the wet, useless. I'd done a drive shaft in it a couple of weeks ago in the wet.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's useless.
Yeah, fourth gear is where it's like, that's special then. It's not like a boost by gear or anything like that, is it? You can't have
standard
it. It's just
ECU.
standard ECU. You can't do anything with it.
No.
But in that fourth gear, it just goes and goes and goes and goes.
Yeah, if it wasn't boost cutting, like when it gets up top is where it's special.
I won't use any weird analogies, but yeah, you get it from both ends, don't you?
Yeah.
It is literally, you've got the induction growl, which is just as loud as the exhaust.
Yeah, the exhaust is one thing I want to change on it. Like, I hope the next owner does, because on the motorway it's too much.
It is.
It's
what's your comfortable speed on the motorway, or is there not one?
80-ish, 90, 85-ish.
What, to get rid of the noise?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But as soon as you let off, as soon as any decel, it's just drones. Yeah. But back when we were younger, it's what you wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, back then, that's acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah, not now.
Now you get a little bit older. You're 41, I'm 41.
Yeah.
You sort of go, yeah, I wouldn't mind to keep my hearing a little bit longer because it's getting a bit weaker anyway.
Just tone it down a little.
Because when I used to have Clios and travel everywhere in the Clios, it was horrible.
Yeah, my Nova was the same. Yeah, oh my god, it's so loud. And my RS Turbo, that thing was loud.
Yeah. Turbocharged stuff is usually a little bit quieter,
but the turbo muffles it, doesn't it?
But this is still offensive.
Yeah, it gets looks everywhere we go. Everywhere we go.
It will do, because people will be going, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Oh, because honestly, even a 2 litre one, I think they've done a 216, didn't they?
Yeah, 218.
216, 218, 220, and 220 turbo.
Yeah.
But you don't even see the smaller ones anymore.
Nah. Yeah, we've been to a few shows in this, and there is still some really nice ones out there, but there's not that many.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. You'd have to go to a show. You don't see many of them just darting down the roads anymore.
No. There is some really nice ones out there, especially some of the FDHs. They're really looking after them.
Well, that's the thing. That's where the money is on them. It's like if you have a 3-door Cosy and then you have an RS 500, it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah. That's why Civic. Do you reckon he wants to play?
Where's he gone?
Straight over, I think.
Oh, is he? sit in an old Rover again.
Yeah. I will miss it, I'm not going to lie. I will miss it when it goes. It is a good car, but just needs must in life, I think.
Yeah. And you get to a certain point with a car where there's nothing else you can really do. Really push it any further apart from sorting out little niggly bits, and if you want to spend £1,000 on an ECU and you want to do this and that and the other, you sort of go, is my heart in it to continue spending all that money for the small gains?
Yeah, well, after building this car for my son as well, it's kind of given me a bit of oomph in me to do something for myself as well.
So that's the thing, I think if you build something from ground up, that's where you fall in love with something. With this, you've got to a point, and this is the problem with old cars, is you can only bolt stuff on really without changing ECUs and so on and so forth before you have to then go, what else can I do?
Yeah, 100%.
Now don't get me wrong, cool car, everything else, but if you are interested in buying this car, drop us a message, and once it's totally buttoned up, we'll send the message across. But yeah, great fun.
We're probably putting it up for sale just after you release the video.
Oh, are you?
Probably.
Well, there you go. So yeah, drop a message if you are interested in one of the rarest Rovers you will find on the road, and it does pull really, really well.
Yeah, bodywork isn't immaculate. It could do with painting, but I've spent all my time and effort getting it running right.
The thing is, if it's mechanically right, that's the hardest thing to find when buying a car now. Is having it mechanically right. Bodywork is aesthetics. It's something that can be done over time. But if you've got the engine right, everything else right, then you haven't got the problems, have you?
No.
So there you have it. A massive thank you to Tom and you for holding the camera. I must admit, you've done a sterling job over the last few hours. Absolutely epic. To be fair, we didn't know whether it's going to be a nostalgic one or a powerful one. I think it's a bit of a mixture of both. I've not been in one of these cars for God knows how long. They're iconic. It's up for sale, about £6,000, hopefully by the time this video comes out. But it's just an iconic car that I did own once that went totally wrong, but this one's better because it's a KDH engine, so it's going to be a better car. But yeah, I must admit, it was great to just go out in an over-engineered Rover. And there's never a Rover I liked, and I must admit, it was only this one. So if you did enjoy that, thank you very much for watching once again. If you do want to see more, hit that bell. If you want to see us get a little bit bigger, put a comment and a like down, and then we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.
Okay.